So yeah, let's get to the next topic. So right now there are three teams. There are three teams left. They're down 3-1, which is the currently the Grizzlies are down 3-1 against the Lakers. The Bucks are down 3-1 against the Heat, surprisingly. And the Cavaliers are down 3-1 against the Knicks. So what we wanted to do with these three teams is one of us is going to pick a series that we think would pick a team that has the most likely chance of overcoming a 3-1 deficit. So, Brian, which of these three matchups are you going to pick slash teams?
So Jimmy Butler is like my second favorite player in the league. Mostly just because of his attitude and his ability to perform in big games and the playoffs, especially not just yesterday, but also in the 2020 finals. And even last year against the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, he performs like just his demeanor, his attitude, the way he plays. He's my second favorite player, but honestly, I think the Bucks will probably come back in seven. Like I see them blowing out the Heat in Game 5. I don't. I see that the Bucks will probably play a tough game against the Heat in Game 6. I think the Heat will probably put up a good fight in Game 6, and then I see the Bucks closing them out in Game 7 because I just feel like um, it's hard for me to imagine Butler having a game like he did yesterday again in the series.
I know, yeah.
And the Heat have been ridiculously good from three throughout the series. Like they
Despite
were in the bottom 10.
2017, during
They were in the
2017
bottom 10 in three during the season.
regular season, yeah.
And now in this series, I believe they've been over 40%. And part of it is because, Duncan Robinson is playing
Robinson
more.
finally getting minutes.
Yeah. And then Caleb Martin has been hitting more
Well,
threes, and Butler has been shooting more threes as well. So part of it is because, of some of the changes in the lineups due to injuries to, Hero and Oladipo. But it's hard for me to it's hard for me to imagine the Heat being hot from three for the rest of the series, Jimmy playing this well for the rest of the series, and the Bucks and Giannis not being able to counter all that. It's just really, yeah. I just can't see like the best team in the league with the best player in the league losing in the first round. It's just, especially to a Heat team that has lost two of their seven best players. So for me, it's just too difficult for me to see the Bucks losing in the first round.
yeah, I would agree with you. It kind of reminds me of the Suns and Lakers a while back when the Lakers were up
In
3-1. I forget the year. I think it might have been
oh six,
08,
oh six,
07 or no,
oh six, oh six, with like
06.
Kobe and like Nash, right? Yeah, oh
Yeah,
six.
because
Yeah, it
Lakers
was
were up
06.
3-1, and then but we're like, wait, what? I mean, the Suns are overall a better team because it was the Lakers were pretty much just Kobe. I mean, like he had Smush Parker as like his point guard.
Yeah. And that's a series where like Kobe scored 50 in like game 6, I believe. And then they got up 3-1 because Kobe hit a game tying floater at the end of the fourth, and he hit the game winner in OT, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 3-1. He was still up 3-1.
Yeah.
So similar situation where it's like Jimmy
I agree with
Butler.
you. I think that's a good comparison where um Kobe was basically carrying those Lakers just like how Butler is for
Right.
the Heat. I mean, I think Butler has a better supporting cast than like Kobe did, but overall, just like how the Suns in 06 had a far better roster than Lakers. I just feel like Giannis is a far better roster than he, and also the difference between that series and this series is that in the Lakers against the Suns in 06, the Lakers had the best player.
That's true.
In this series, the Bucks have the best
The
player
player.
and the better team, right? So I'll be very, very shocked if they lose, but we'll see.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to see Oh man, you picked my pick. I think I was about to choose the same pick, and I'm gonna briefly kind of go over the other series. So with the Lakers
To
and
be fair,
Grizzlies,
I think the Grizzlies has a chance to beat the Lakers too. So we can discuss them too.
sure. I'm just gonna go briefly. I mean, my pick's gonna be Bucks and Heat for similar reasons. Jimmy Butler essentially would have to have another, hurt up another virtuoso like performance, as Shannon Sharp would say, to beat the Bucks. Essentially, he would have to drop another crazy game just to eke out another win against the Bucks. Will that happen? Not 100% sure, but you never know. It really depends if Budenholzer will finally make adjustments. So we're gonna have to
Yeah,
see how that goes. But again, like as you mentioned, the Bucks have the best player in this matchup with Giannis, and they overall have the better team. And so, in my opinion, they have the best chance of beating the Heat. In fact, I still have the Bucks beating the Heat in 7. But
yeah.
but Butler just needs to go off at least once in the next 3 games to take them over the edge against the Bucks. So you never know. And Butler has shown that he can do it. So we're gonna have to see. Gonna briefly go over the other matchups as well. Lakers and Grizzlies. Lakers.
Quick question on the Bucks and Heat. So and you kind of brought it up a minute ago, and I kind of wanted to double click on this, but
Sure.
I believe you and I spoke maybe 2 years ago when um the Bucks were playing the Nets in the second round when Harden was still on the team and he was playing with that bad hamstring, right? And we saw that that Coach Bud was not making a lot of adjustments in that series, especially just like guarding, especially not going at Harden, not putting Harden in any pick and rolls and all that stuff. When Harden was clearly compromised, right? And kind of similar to last game against the Heat, he didn't call a timeout throughout the 12-0 run that Butler ran in the second half of the fourth quarter.
He did not guard Butler any differently, and I'm like,
yeah,
like he triple team him for
yeah,
yeah, to try something.
Yeah, exactly, yeah,
because he's unstoppable right now.
Yeah, exactly. To your point, he never had his team double team Butler at any point during that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So for me, like Coach Bud has always been like a pretty decent coach, but
regular season coach.
But Coach Spo, but against Coach Spo and against like I don't know, like who else do you want to throw in there? Like Nick Nurse, he got out coached by Nick Nurse a few times, but Bud had the far better roster. So for me, like what are your concerns levels in terms of how Coach Bud will not only coach the rest of the series, but just the rest of the playoffs?
It's hard to say because, to be fair, he did win a championship. So we'll see. I'm hoping that he'll make adjustments if Butler gets hot again. It scores 22 points in the first quarter. I don't know if he's going to be able to repeat that performance, but I think Bud is going to have to make some adjustments and have a bigger emphasis on guarding Butler. I don't know what strategy is going to be. At least try double teaming him at the very least. I think single coverage wasn't quite working out, so I'm not sure what he's going to do. And I guess we'll see what happens. What happens in the next game? But again, I still pick the Bucks just because they have the better team and they have the best player. And ultimately, we've seen similar situations like this before, and usually the better team wins out.